folks, welcome back to yet another European 2020 squad prediction video, courtesy of Football Manager 2020. That's right, we're going to take a little look at what the amazing computer game FM20 thinks will happen, or who will be selected, the 23 players that will be selected for Sweden for this summer's Mega European Championships. Now, before we jump into it, we're going to kind of refresh ourselves some of the names that are likely to be included in this sort of simulation experiment, whatever you want to call it. So we've jumped over to the reliable football source, that is Wikipedia, and take a little look at the most recent squad. So we're looking at some of these bad boys, obviously the Victor Lindelofs of this world, the Emil Forsbergs of this world, Marcus Berg, John Guidetti. Who else is up there in the things? Christopher Olsen, Krasnodar, any other really decent players? Abin Erkdal, who's the vice captain. Andreas Krankvist, who's obviously the captain. We remember him from the World Cup. Pontus Jansson as well, who's now playing his football at Brentford. So these are some of the names that we hope to see in this, or is it going to be plain Jane just like this? There's some other names, also some familiar call-ups. It calls Jimmy Durmaz, the bearded wonder who's plays his football out in Turkey. Who else has been in there recently? Victor Classen. Who did he used to play for? Wasn't it Southampton? No, I'm getting mixed up with someone else. Yeah, we can just go and get yourselves familiar with some of these guys. Ludwick, Angus, Tunson, who plays for Werder Bremen. Yeah, so hopefully you can see some of the names. But as we hop back to the vortex that is my Bizarro world here, we've simulated right through to the tournament itself. I think it's well underway, or they might have even finished. I don't know, whatever it is. But they've got the squad, so we're going to jump in and take a little look, position by position, name by name, and go through them and see if they've been called up recently or not. So we're going to kick it off with goalkeeper, and it looks to be Sweden's number one. That is Robin Olsen, plays his football out in Roma. However, in the real world, he plays his football in Cagliari. So he's actually on loan at Cagliari from Roma. So he had an okay season, 6.66 rated for the season. Good goalkeeper, 30 years of age. He's got 42 caps in this world, 36 in the real world. So he'll make it. I didn't think he wouldn't, so not too sure. As does Christopher Olsen, playing for Krasnodar. He's 25 years old, midfielder, can play straight down the middle, or as a defensive midfielder as well, or maybe pushed further. Forwards actually wanted in this by Bournemouth. He had a decent season, did he? Yep, 7.09 average, formerly of AIK out in Sweden. Cost him 4.4 million in the end. It's a 25-year-old. Still got a whole host of football years ahead of him. So Christopher Olsen will go to the Euros next summer alongside Robin Quaison. Robin Quaison is a striker playing his football out in Mainz these days, 26 years old, 7 goals in 15 games in this Bizarro world. It's the same number that he has in the real. So he hasn't really played since the sort of thing. He scored 7 goals in 26 games in this simulation, or in this Bizarro universe. So he'll go to compete as a striker, possibly alongside John Guidetti. We'll take a little look when we come back to the G's. Jacob Rinn also makes it. He was in a recent squad back in January 2019. Last played against Iceland. 3 caps to his name. He's got 4 in this. So he'll be the second string goalkeeper, it looks like. Plays for AAB out in Denmark, formerly of AA Ghent out in Belgium. He had an okay season, 6.98 average. He is 27 years of age. He's still got a few years of goalkeeping ahead of him. Obviously, goalkeepers sort of hit their prime when they're in about 34 or something like that. So Jacob Rinn will be competing alongside Robin Olsen for goalkeeping spot. So it looks like we're going to have at least a different name compared to the most recent squad selected. Marcus Rodan. He is a right-sided midfielder. Trying to look at him in the most recent squad, I cannot see him. And I don't see him in the last cluster of folks as well. So he might be one of those that come out of nowhere. Plays his football for Frosinone. Must be in the Serie B these days. Okay season, 25 games, 1 goal, 6.79 average. Formerly of Elfsborg and Crotone out in Syria, out in Italy. Can play on the right hand side and down the middle. He's 29 years of age. He's got 22 caps, 1 goal. Will he make it to the Euros? This one's a wild card, so we'll see. I don't see him anywhere in the most recent squad, so it's one that FM has picked out of nowhere. Sebastian Anderson is joining him. Is he one familiar? He is a little familiar. He plays his football out for Union Berlin in the real world. Out in this, he's plays for Al Ain out in UAE. Had a bit of a barnstorming season for Union Berlin, scoring 14 goals in 33 games in this Bizarro world. Which, did that do enough for them to stay in the league? Doesn't look like it. Looks like they got relegated. But anyway, we don't really want to dwell on that. So Sebastian Anderson made the switch. Obviously, decent season in the Bundesliga. Got the move to UAE. Chasing the money. So he'll go, and it looks like he'll go in the real world because it looks like, he's been in the most recent squad. So not too shabby indeed. Next up, we have Ludwick Angus Tunson. Now, we did talk about him. He wasn't in the most recent squad, but he was last featured back in June. Plays his football for Werder Bremen. Valued at 11.75 million. He's a defender playing on the left-hand side. Got 41 caps to his name. In the real world, he's only got 28. So he must have played a whole host of games this past season in this bizarro world. So he'll go 7.07 average for the year. So Ludwick will make the squad alongside, if I can get in there, Felix Belgium. That's a name I do not know. He is a right back. Plays his football for Werder Bremen as well. He's got a transfer on the table. Don't see him anywhere in the recent squads. So it's a name that's come out of nowhere. 10 caps, 0 goals, 22 years old. He's actually wanted by Leipzig, coughing up 10.5 million for him. He went on loan. He was a Werder Bremen player. They bought him for 2.7 million from Douche Gardens. Went out on loan for Malmo. Did good, 7.10 average. So he's not a bad little player, is he? So he's come out of nowhere. So maybe, FM's calling it. Will it be something that's come out of nowhere? We'll have to see. I don't think so, but it's a funny old thing, football. Victor Classen is the one we've mentioned. We kind of focused on a little bit. I thought he was an ex-Southampton player, but not. Playing his football out in Turkey Russia with Krasnodar, 28 years old, 41 caps, 7 goals to his name. It looks like he didn't play any football in this, so that's a little bit strange. So maybe he was out for injury. I don't know, but maybe he's come back at the right time. I don't really want to dwell on anything. Does it show? Injury sort of info. I don't know. But Victor Classen makes the squad. He's a midfielder, can play. He's a midfielder, can play on the left-hand side, or maybe on the right-hand side if you want to play a little bit more defensive. And we kind of jumped ahead to Abin Erkdal. It's the defensive midfielder, plays his football for Sampdoria, valued at £7.75 million. He's actually wanted by AC Milan. He's had an okay season, 6.91 average for Sampdoria in Syria. Used to play for Hamburg, Sval and Cagliari, both and even Juventus back in the day. So he's been around a bit. He's a key member of the squad. He's also, I think, he's vice captain. So there's no questions that he's going to go, injury permitting. As is Emil Forsberg, also one of the most valuable players, I think, in the Swedish squad. He's an attacking midfielder, can play down the middle and also on the left-hand side. Like I said, plays for Leipzig, £24.5 million rated. Didn't score many goals, though. He had an okay season, 7.02 average. Maybe it doesn't look like he's a double-digit man, to be honest with you. He's failed to get double digits throughout his time in the Bundesliga with Leipzig. He did get double digits for in the Swedish top divisions. So, but he'll make it. He's a key member of the Swedish team. So Forsberg will go alongside Erkdal, and joining Forsberg will be Ricardo Gal Gilley. And I did see that name. He is in the squad most recently. Just the 1 cap so far. So he's come out of nowhere. He's also got 1 cap in this, so he hasn't really progressed much further. Plays on the left hand side. Can also play at centre back. He's valued at 6 million, but he's wanted by Brescia and Empoli. He had an okay season for Parma, sort of 6.82 average, 36 games, 2 assists. But they got relegated, so he's going to have to make the switch either to a top tier team or just duke it out with Parma in the Serie B next season in this bizarre rule. So Cagliari makes it alongside John Guidetti, who now plays his football for Alaves. Is he Sweden's number 1 up top? I don't know. Perhaps. He's only got 4 goals in 34 games, though, in this world. In the real world, he's got 3 goals in 28 games, according to Wikipedia. He's valued at £5 million, obviously formerly of Manchester City and Celtic. He didn't really do bits for Celtic. He's actually struggled since, I think his only real decent season was for Feyenoord in the Eredivisie. He actually scored 11 goals, though, for Alaves in this simulation. But ultimately, I just think he's a bit of a flop, really. Gutierrez. He's 28 years of age now. He might make the World Cup at 32. No, he'll be 30 for the World Cup, but he might make the Euros in 2024. I think he needs to. This is him in his prime, but he's going. Philip Helander will go as well. He's a 27-year-old defender out in this. He plays his football out in Rangers in Scotland. 11 caps in the real world, 16 in this. He was a pickup from Bologna, £3.5 million. Okay season, not setting the place on fire. 32 games, 2 goals, 4 assists, 6.91 rated out in Scotland. That's not the greatest. He should be up there. Valued at £4.5 million, but he's decent. He's probably going to be competed alongside Grankvist and co. for that centre-back slot. Also joining him is Oscar Halgemark. Now, he is nowhere to be seen in the most recent squad. As for the sort of recent call-ups over the past few months, again, I don't see him anywhere. 28 years of age, plays in midfield. Is he going to go to the Euros? I don't know. He plays his football out in Italy with Genoa, but at 5.25 million. He is a bog-standard centre-back. Got 36 caps and 3 goals to his name. He's had a decent season out in Russia, so he belongs in Genoa. They own him, but they loaned him to Dynamo Moscow, and he actually ripped it up there with 7.17 average. So not bad. Will he make the squad? I think it's a bit of a wild card, so we'll have to see. In May, Nicholas Hult also goes. He is a left back as well, 30 years of age, plays his football out in Greece, about £2 million. He is also in the real squad, or it was in a recent call-up, should I say, recent call-up. He last played for the national team in September against Norway. He's got 8 caps in the real world in this. He's got 11, so it's not a bad shout. You know, what are the options at left back? We'll have to see how we get on. Alongside him is Alexander Isak. He is the pin-up boy for Sweden at the moment. He plays his football out for Real Sociedad valued at £14.25 million. 20 years of age, 19 caps, 15 goals in this. In the real world, he has 4 goals in 12 games, so he rips it up a little bit. Okay season for Real Sociedad out in the La Liga, 7 goals in 31 games, but he is wanted. Could be on the move in this one. Inter Milan are after him. They're going to have to cough up big money to make the move. He could also play on the left-hand side as well, but he'll compete alongside Gutierrez and Ruben Quaison, Sebastian Anderson for a shot up top. Pontus Jansson makes it. The big centre-back, 24 caps, 1 goal, 29 years of age. He does play for Brentford these days, formerly of Leeds. Very good season for Brentford in this bizarro world. 40 games, 2 goals, 7.05 average for Pontus Jansson. He'll go. I think he will go in the real world as well. They look good right now in the real world in Brentford. Hovering over those playoff spots, but I think he needs to get in the Premier League to really get the credit that he deserves as a commanding centre-back. Next up, we have Jakob Johansson. Who's a 30-year-old defensive midfielder. Could also play in midfield as well. He is playing his football for Rennes out in Ligue 1. He had an okay season, 6.96 average rated as a free transfer from AEK out in Greece. Jakob Johansson's got 19 caps and 1 goal. I'm trying to find him on this scenario. Stop looking at my stuff. Johansson. He was in a recent squad back in September the 8th when Sweden took on Norway. So he could make it. We'll have to wait and see though. For me, I'm not too sure if he'll go. I think there might be better players in that position, so we'll see. Alongside him is Karl Johan Jonsson, the third goalkeeper, and he was also in a recent squad, actually the most recent squad as well. Plays his football for Copenhagen, valued at £1.1 million. 7 caps to his name, 7 caps in the real world. It's not changed a bit, obviously, in Robin Olsen's shadow at the moment. Same age as him as well. Christopher Nordfeldt was the other goalkeeper, and he does not make it. Doesn't look like it. 10 goals conceded in 6 games, 6.92 average rating. Not getting first team football for Copenhagen, doesn't look like. Can we see the senior squad? What is all this? Goalkeeper. So this guy, Geit Boost, is the number 1, looks like. So that's stopping him from getting probably the Swedish top job. So Karl Johan Jonsson will go to the Euros next summer. Alongside him will be Dejan Klukovetsky. That's right, a typical Swedish name. That bad boy can play anywhere across the attacking midfield. Youngster, 20 years of age. Klukovetsky was in the most recent squad. Plays his football for Parma, it looks like. When I say Parma, he was loaned to Parma. Actually belongs to Atalanta. So he'll make the squad. He's got 1 cap to his name. So Klukovetsky, one of the Swedish wonder kids, will go. Alongside him will be Johan Larsson. He was a right back, 30 years of age, 5 caps to his name. Plays his football out in Denmark for Rodan B. 7.46 average rated for Johan. His most recent call up. Let's take a little look. Larsson was back in January 2009, was actually withdrawn, or he withdrew from the squad, maybe through injury or not. So as a potential right back, he'll go, perhaps. That's what FM20 thinks. Where are we now? We're to Victor Lindelof. He'll go. £37.5 million rated centre back, can play defensive midfield as well, and right back, obviously. If you're playing for Manchester United and getting game time, you're going to go 7.09 average. He's probably nailed on to go. So Victor Lindelof joins Robin Olsen, and that will complete Sweden's national team squad for the Euros. And here they are in all their glory. If you want to take a look at the most valuable player, it is Lindelof, Forsberg, then Janssen, and then young Isaac alongside Angus, Tunson, who was in a most recent call. So I'm thinking this guy should make it, and Klavowski should also make it as well. So, yeah, hot off the press, boys and girls. That is the Swedish team, according to FM20, who will go to the Euros. Join me tomorrow as we take a look at another one. Looks like this is going to be the Swiss team as we try and get through all 20. There might have been a bit of a stagnant one. We're struggling trying to get the German team and the Finnish team at the moment. So I'll have a little bit of catch up with those once I figure out how to get them. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the thumbs up. If you do, smash the subscribe. New videos pretty much every single day on the channel. And we'll be back again for another one very, very soon. Until then, I'm out. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.